Before I start this lesson, I want to give all praises and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash, and I want to give double honors to the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned this truth from. This lesson is going to go into the mouth that was given to Esau, or the little horn, speaking great things against Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, against his temple, and against those who dwell in heaven, which are the mighty ones, or the host, or the holy angels who operate the chariots of Yasharallah, going into Yahweh of hosts, basically the armies of heaven, who are ordered by Yahweh, and the captain of the host being Yahweh Shai. Salakia, I'm gonna return real quick. I'm gonna adjust something real fast. Okay, Salakia, I'm back. I had to adjust myself. The gentleman you see on the screen is known as Dr. Stephen Greer. He is the face of a group of Edomites, a group of people who are creating the narrative or the accusation against the chariots, which is prophecy, which is the Most High, which is Yahweh Shai, completely distracting from the truth and coming up with their own narrative. I listened to this last night, or this morning, I believe. It's about 3 hours. It's amazing in its construction of how they are going about this. So we've been hearing off and on through everybody on the internet, on the news, there's disclosure coming. And once I came into the truth and began to understand everything by the precepts and through the prophets of GMS, and came into a decent understanding of Bible prophecy, and understanding that the actual UFOs that my whole life in America that I've been told were UFOs are actually the chariots of Yahweh, operated by the holy angels. And there's a ton of precepts to prove all this, and now I understand and believe that. With that said, learning who Esau Edom is, and his role in prophecy, and how he operates and how he gets down, his weapons being the sword, and his ability to deceive, his enchantments, him using the media before it was the press, the paper, the written news, and then the radio, and then from the radio and the press it went into the television and satellites, and we've all seen the expansion of this and what it's caused. And then now the internet, the unicorn, where the Most High woke up the prophets, and now we are on the internet releasing the truth into the firmament, he's opening up the books by using us. This whole production right here, it angered me, because the more I began to listen to them, I suggest you guys listen to this. If you can go here, let me adjust the camera real quick. Go to his YouTube page, Dr. Stephen Greer. Monday, June 12th, 2023, Dr. Greer's groundbreaking National Press Club event, free to watch. In this little production, it's a ton of lies that can easily be exposed, or you can show the truth by the precepts. And so in this documentary, or this production, they're going into, hold on Salakia. Okay, Salakia, I'm back. I wanted to get this photo up, because this particular slide right here, and this particular story, or this little portion of story at this part in the show, this is where he's talking about, I believe he's talking about man-made UFOs and extraterrestrial UFOs. And it's basically what they're doing is they're using the chariots. That they know that everyone's seeing the chariots, and so this is how they're going to spin it. They're spinning it this way. They're using the chariots in the background of their story. The chariots are harmless. They're not here to hurt us. With the power they display, the fact that they haven't hurt us by yet means they don't want to hurt us. That's how they're saying this. And there's a rogue group of Edomites, but they don't say Edomites. They don't say white people. They say there's rogue groups of people within the government, so you know that they're Edomites, but they don't say it that way, that are operating, that they have collected, broken down, or fallen ET true chariots that they've all collected all of them, and from those fallen down, broken ET UFOs, they've been able to reverse engineer the UFOs that are man-made UFOs from that technology, and they're keeping all of that information from the public. They are now doing covert illegal activities in these man-made UFOs. There's also another production he has, you guys. I have 2 phones. And my older phone has an app that I have downloaded that you can watch any movie for free. And I, for some reason, am not able to find that app on this phone. So I keep that phone whenever I want to watch something on that phone with Wi-Fi for free. And he's got another production that just came out. And in that production, I believe it's 5 Edomites are showcased from as far back as the 80s, who supposedly, different guys, they all recorded their so-called inventions that were pulling energy either out of the magnet fields of the earth. They weren't plugged into anything, and the output was insane. And every time they went to patent these inventions, they either got assassinated or killed, or they were given some type of governmental type official, you cannot release this to the public type thing, or their families were threatened. What they did is, so what they're doing with that production is they're painting these unique genius Edomites who are super plain guys as victims of the rich and ruling Edomites who run the oil and the energy, and the reason why they don't want this energy to come out is because they would lose all their trillions of dollars in the oil and in the power, the actual power industry. So they control this narrative, and so they got that released, and then it ties into this, where these rogue people in the government are creating their own UFOs, and they're trying to stop this new energy that can save the world. And this is now, so this is the disclosure. This is the disclosure. The disclosure is these Edomites are the good Edomites, that they recognize the bad Edomites, and they gotta get the government involved, who doesn't know what's going on, who might be willing to get involved because they want to know what's going on, to stop these bad Edomites, so that this energy can be released to the world, and within 10 to 20 years, nobody would be poor. That's the disclosure. And so there's a ton of precepts and prophecy that shatter all of this. And we also see, basically, this is Esau. This is a form of it. This is him speaking against the Most High. Because what is now? Let me go. I'm gonna get these precepts. Let me hold on. Let me hold up. I want to play some of this stuff so you guys can hear it yourself too, and then I'll get the precepts. But hold on. Let me stop the video and I'll be right back. Okay, Salaki. So this is the part of the production where he starts basically sliding everybody into he's going to tell you his narrative. Esau wants to tell you how these extraterrestrials are, and how we have developed I'm saying our, not us, but them, how they have developed their UFOs or man-made UFOs. Just listen to some of this.
ERVs, advanced reproduction vehicles, or alien reproduction vehicles. People use different terms. The extraterrestrial groups are absolutely not hostile. However, screaming caps, they are increasingly concerned about human hostility and our weapon systems, which include nuclear and scalar, the so-called, Dr. Zahari shared this weekend, about what scalar electromagnetic fields are. But just to give you a sense of it, you all know what an electromagnetic pulse is. That's at the speed of light. The scalar systems are, instead of a wave, is a point that goes out longitudinally. Some call them longitudinal waves. These have been studied. Tesla talked about scalar systems. They have been weaponized, and those are the primary systems used to target and hit these electromagnetic field propulsion craft that cause them to fall like a rock out of the sky. You do not travel from another star system and cannot navigate a thunderstorm in New Mexico. That ain't gonna.
So that part right there, what he just said, goes into something else. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it later, but right there he just shot himself in the foot, because aren't they saying that they're finding UFOs that are falling down or running out of gas, and then that's what it was, and then that they're reverse engineering everything. But what did he just say right here? Listen.
That causes them to fall like a rock out of the sky. You do not travel from another star system and cannot navigate a thunderstorm in New Mexico. That ain't going to happen. So even at that point, these had been early systems. We have a FBI memo from...
So what he's trying to say is the UFOs, I don't know, I guess the UFOs that they were finding were man-made, not extraterrestrial. But either way, it doesn't go against, it goes against them saying that they've been able to reverse engineer the technology from the chariots from on high to make their own, which is all, it's all BS. But I just want you guys to hear some of this stuff. And right here, if you'd read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are the points. And look at this point right here. Point 3, extraterrestrial technology has been studied and reverse engineered, leading to breakthroughs in energy and propulsion. Number 4, an extremely secret organization has been running these projects without legal constitutional government oversight since the late 1950s. This is a major lie, but this goes into the same playbook of Esau with the left versus the right, the good cop, the bad cop, the southern whites that are racist, and the rest of the whites or Edomites in America aren't racist. There's always a bad guy. World War II, the bad guy was the Nazis. Teeman was the bad guy, but the rest of Esau were the good guys. It's the same playbook, you guys. There's always a boogeyman that Esau has to fight. This is where he gets his illusion of righteousness from. Our righteousness is from Yahweh. I got that precept pulled up already. I'm throwing all this. I watched all this, and I was like, all these precepts were coming into my spirit. I was like, man, everything with Esau, his veneer of righteousness is based on his ability to be seen policing someone. Usually it's the Israelites. And then he goes abroad, Habakkuk. He cannot stay at home. He transgresses by wine. And he steals a man in his heritage, and he goes into other nations, and he accuses the leaders of these nations of either having weapons of mass destruction or mistreating his own people, and he throws his enchantments through the media, and he gets the people's minds under that spell, so that he looks like he's the righteous one, breaking into another man's house to bring justice. Okay, his wine, it's got nothing to do with the laws of the Most High. It's his own laws, his own rule of law. And then he goes in and he sets up a puppet leader that then opens the door so that Edomites and their industries can go into those countries and strip that nation of its resources. He does this all day long. Now he's using the backdrop of he's not saying the chariots are dangerous, which they are extremely dangerous for them, that they are the curse that goes in the house of the thief. But he's using the chariots as a backdrop or a bouncing board to then say, look, there's a group, number 4.4, an extremely secret organization has been running these projects without legal constitutional governmental oversight since the late 1950s. Point 5, these illegal projects constitute a grave threat to national security and world security and peace. So now Esau cares about the planet. Number 6, key members of U.S. government oversight committees have been denied access to these projects, which is a crisis we are working to resolve. So that's what this whole disclosure, it's all about this. They've made it into this. There's a group of bad Edomites out there that we got to stop. And there's a group of good Edomites out there that are going to stop them. And if we stop them, we will be able to get this energy that will save the world. What do the precepts say? Let's go into that. I'm going to go get some of these precepts. Let's do it. I'll try to come back to this. In the meantime, let me pull up. Here we go. Let me pull up these precepts. I got all these precepts right here, starting right here. Thus saith Yahweh. This is Jeremiah 10:2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the ways of the heathen, And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at the signs of heaven. That speaks for itself. Isaiah 8:20, for the law, unto the law. And this was the first one that came. I was like, wait a minute. As long as they talk about the chariots, if they're not going to speak from the precepts, every single thing they're going to say is going to be nothing but darkness. So to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And what does the word say? What does the prophet say? What does the law say about the chariots? Those precepts are coming up. Zechariah 5:2, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. So I believe a cubit is 1.5 feet. I think, if I'm incorrect, someone correct me, but I believe a cubit is 1.5 feet. So if you have something that's 20 cubits, that's what? That's 30 feet. And if you have something that's breadth is 10 cubits, that's what? That's 15 feet. So you have a 30 foot by 15 foot, I guess that's rectangular looking object that's flying. All right. And then what does verse 3 in Zechariah 5:3 say? Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth falsely shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. And that's talking about Esau. Psalms 104:1 also describes the chariots. Bless Yahweh, O my soul. O Yahweh, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. Verse 2. Who covers thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain. Verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. This is very key. This word clouds in Scripture doesn't always mean a vaporous puff of smoke. You have to learn when to rightfully divide the word of truth. And this time, a cloud is talking about a cloaked chariot. This is how they operate. This is how they are able to camouflage themselves in the sky. Who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the winds, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. And that's showing you their masterful ability to be interdimensional, moving vehicles of war and transportation, that they walk upon the wings of the wind. That's just showing you that they are excellent, masterfully operating through dimensions and flying. That's what that is. Revelations 1:7. This is another prophecy, another precept talking about clouds and chariots. Behold, he cometh with the clouds. He cometh with what? Right here. Who maketh his clouds as chariots. Psalms 104. Who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Who's the he? It's talking about Yahushua. He's coming back on a cloud, one of these. Behold, he cometh with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so. Why are they going to wail? For multiple reasons. They're going to actually see what he really looks like. He's not going to be some Edomite man with stringy long hair. He's going to be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, very dark-skinned, with an afro, with kinky curly hair, a so-called black man. And he's going to be on one of these clouds. In fact, it says in Ezra, a cloud the size of a mountain. It's very huge. Okay, and that's why they're going to wail. They're going to be freaked out when this happens. Ezekiel 1:4 is another prophecy, another prophet speaking about the chariots. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Verse 5, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. These are your holy angels. They're not ETs. They're not extraterrestrials. They're not weird-looking, big-headed, big-eyed, gray men that don't speak. This is what they are right here. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Ezekiel 1:19, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. This is how this is explaining how the chariots are empowered. They are empowered by the spirits of these holy angels that get inside of them. That's the fuel. The fuel, the propulsion, the thrust, the movement, however you want to call it, is actually being energized by the actual person, the mighty one, the son of one of the sons of God, the Alahayim, the angels themselves. The next verse says this. Verse 1, chapter 1, verse 20. Whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. There it is, right there. That's how these things operate. So there's no such thing as a crashed UFO, because then that would mean that the angel himself crashed. That would mean that his spirit died or fell asleep or was KO'd or knocked out, and that doesn't happen to an angel. So if the angel is the source of power or the fuel in these chariots, and the angel can't die, he can't go to sleep, he can't be disconnected from his source, which is Yahweh, then how is the chariot going to run out of gas? How is the chariot going to crash? See how all these precepts just break down everything Esau is saying. Daniel chapter 7 verse 23. Thus said the fourth beast shall, thus said the fourth beast shall be the fourth of All right, now I got to stop here, my bad. Now this is going to go into another point of who Esau Edom is. Hold on really quick, I'll be right back. Salakia, I'm back. I'm going to get to those precepts. I need to build more of a case concerning what Esau is doing and how he's doing it. So that other production that I told you, I can't find it on YouTube. It's on like a video stream. I was able to watch it last night. It's literally an hour. It's about an hour and a half, and all it's showing you is like these 5 or 6 Edomites, and it's old footage. They've been working on this live for a while, showing you dudes who created these weird-looking contraptions like Tesla, in their garages, in their poor homes, and they were tapping into energy by tapping into the magnet field or something, and the output was like huge. And all of these men, one of them got killed, 2 of them got killed, one of them got some government legal thing. So what it's doing is it's appealing to the psyche of the American Edomite people and all the other people who are under the spell of Esau being on top of everyone. Okay, it makes them out to be the victim, that they've been being oppressed, that they've been creating, that these good Edomite men have been creating energy that will save the world. And so now this guy is making an appeal to that, and that this is part of the disclosure that this has to stop. Okay, so this gives the illusion that this guy and everyone who agrees with him, that they are the core group of people who are good, and that they're fighting the small, secret, rich, and powerful group of people who are bad, which is not what the scriptures say. So listen to this.
Excuse my language, goddamn mistake then and goddamn mistake now that this was ever kept secret like this. He was not allowed in this project. When he tried to get in, General Curtis LeMay told him he could never ask him about it again. We have that whole trail with former Senator Goldwater. So we also need to have an executive order so that the U.S. Patent Office that has seized these 0 point and related technologies under bogus application of the national security laws, and we have a copy of an inventor had one of these happen to him. Those have to be reversed, those patents have to be released, and inventors and scientists around the world that have come across these, look, the laws of the universe are universal, and they've been discovered by folks, they get grabbed, they are either put on a black shelf or they get this national security order slapped on them. Those have to be reversed, and those should be released open source to the public.
There was a commercial, sorry about that.
We also need an executive order to immediately require that the U.S. Space Force and Pentagon coordinate assets with the State Department, the United Nations, and other governments to initiate further open communication with these civilizations. The Space Force could be very useful in this regard if it's deployed properly. All of the military would be very important. And I want to emphasize, both the people who work in most of these corporations and in these agencies and the Pentagon have no knowledge excuse me, of these illegal operations. And we should not paint them all with the brush of being culpable. It's not. These are the rogue elements.
And so that's a lie. So basically he's saying that all the Edomites that are in power that don't know about it are innocent. Oh, they just don't know what's going on. That these rogue people, it's so pretty much this whole production, I would suggest a lot of you guys watch it. They're pretty much creating the platform or the illusion that these Edomites are righteous, that they got to fight the small group of powerful bad ones. It's the same thing they said Trump was going to do when Trump was in office. He was going to drain the swamp. No, he's not. It's all BS, man. Ain't no Edomite going to bring salvation to the world. They are the cancer. They are the problem. They are the wicked. They are set up to do exactly what they're doing, and they're deceiving the whole world. So now I want to talk. So for those of you who be listening to this message who don't understand what I'm saying, why are you picking on this poor little white man? We're going to go into the precepts that identify who this nation is and the things that they would do when they would get into power based on the prophecies. Okay, when they would come into power. Esau's never going to tell you that. America is never going to tell you that they're a bad country. Ain't no president, ain't no governor, ain't no rich so-called white man gonna tell you the truth about how wicked they are, how they keep power, and the things they do. And if and when they are talking smack about a small group of quote-unquote Edomites, white people that are doing something bad, you can best believe this guy is what's called controlled opposition. He's allowed to say all this stuff. He's a part of the very system. His whole role is to play the good guy. He is a character. This is an illusion. Okay, this is the good side. This is the safe, well-spoken, gentle. He doesn't cuss. Look, his beard is shaved. His mustache is shaved. He's got a suit and tie on. This is the guy right here. You got to trust this guy. He's safe, right? It's all BS, man. So let's go into some of the precepts, and I'm gonna do something, but I'm gonna show you something about from back in the past too. Hold on, real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is Genesis 27:38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. These two blessings that Isaac gave to Jacob and Esau have played out throughout history. And they both have come true, and they are coming true. And this is Esau's blessing, okay? Esau becomes the nation of Edom. He is the father of the Edomites, okay? And Esau is all throughout prophecy as the main focus of Yahweh's wrath and anger, and he would become the most powerful nation outside of Israel to rule in the earth, and he would rule in the last days right before Yahweh would come back, okay? So that's who this guy is. Verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And verse 40 says, and by thy sword thou shalt live. That is huge. What did Yahweh tell Peter when he was going to the cross in the New Testament? Those who live by the sword shall die by the sword. And so what do you see right here? This is a setup. These are connected. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, and thy brother is Isaac or Jacob, the Israelites, and that's who we are. And it shall come to pass that when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from out thy neck. What's this yoke? Well, if you study King David, who was an Israelite, he had the Edomites in check. He had them in bondage. Now let's go back a few more precepts. And this is describing who Esau would become as he's possessing the fatness of the earth. You have to be in a position of power and great wealth with military might to do that. The fatness of the earth goes into having all of the best things, all of the high places, all of the wealth, all of the oil, all of the materials, all of the that's the other word for materials, resources. And Esau really does have that, you guys. For those of you who don't know, I'm not speaking to the men of the Lord. Let me see. This shall the fourth be, I believe. Okay, well, okay. Daniel 7:23. So this is breaking down. These are prophecies throughout Scripture who are speaking about this specific group of people who are the Edomites, where you saw them get their blessing back in Genesis. Okay, Daniel chapter 7 verse 23. Thus saith the Lord. And thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Did you see what was just said? This is a prophecy given to Daniel about that about the statue, the image that King Nebuchadnezzar was given in his dream, and nobody in his kingdom could interpret the meaning of it. And Daniel was able to interpret the meaning of the head of gold, the silver chest, the waist of bronze, and the legs and feet and toes of clay, miry clay, and iron. And so Daniel is breaking down that last portion of the statue, because each element, each metal, each element described a specific nation or race of people who would have rulership in the earth at the order of the Most High, who were not Israelites. So they were heathen. The last group of people are the wicked. And right here, according, you can see the precept telling you, thus he said, the fourth beast, the last beast in the list of the four beasts that would rule. So God, the Most High, calls these people animals. So this also goes throughout the Scriptures. The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all the other previous kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth. That means to dominate it. And shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Let's go into verse 24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them. That's going into your EU. And this other one that shall arrive is talking about the little horn, which are the section of Edomites that would become America, and shall be diverse from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings. The 3 kings are the 3 horns that are plucked up, and I believe that's France, Spain, and Britain. And if you research it, you will see that the quote-unquote group of white people that created America, they fought their own people, because the Spaniards are Edomites, the French are Edomites, and so are the Britain, claiming that they wanted freedom to serve God. And it's all BS. It was fulfillment of prophecy. That's the physical narrative they put in the earth. This specific group of Edomites have proven to be quite vicious compared to all the other ones. They're the little horn. So then you got verse 25, and he shall speak great. Look at this. This was the other thing I wanted. This was what I wanted to also prove with this so-called UFO disclosure, and with Christianity. What do you see? It's the same race of people. That's not an accident, you guys. You see the same race of people giving you their version of the truth, of what they say is the truth, and how to go about making things right. They did that with Christianity. They made Yahushua white. They made the Most High white. They made all the Bible characters white, and then they went around the whole world teaching Christianity, which cannot be substantiated with the Scriptures. It cannot be substantiated with prophecy. They took out 14 books called the Apocrypha, and they told the whole world, this is what God is saying. When really all they were doing was putting their own image in the minds of all the people of the earth. We look like God. God looks like us. And then by them telling the world about this Edomite version of God, subconsciously, whether the world believes in the Bible God or not, they view the white man as somebody that's like God, because they have put a white or Edomite image of God in all their minds. He's doing the same thing with the UFO, with the chariots. And this precept, this prophecy explains exactly that. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints. That's your Israelites. Wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand. So he's been given this by the Most High that he's speaking against, until a time and times and the dividing of times. Let's go over Revelations 13:4. And they worship the dragon. It's talking about the Roman Empire, which gave power to the beast. It's talking about the American Edomites. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war. Do you see, if you go back into Genesis, Esau shall possess the fatness of the earth? And look at all these precepts about him in the future, which is your present day. This dude is getting bigger and bigger and more stronger and more stronger and more global as he gets more powerful. That's what's happening. Verse 5, and there was given unto him, look, and this is in Revelations. This is backing up what was said in Daniel about him. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. What are blasphemies? Violent lies, just absurd lies. And what are these blasphemies? That the Most High is the Edomite man. What are these blasphemies? That Yahweh Shai is an Edomite man. That the angels are Edomite men. That all the Israelites are Edomites. And that the Most High loves everybody. Those are the blasphemies that he has spoken against the Most High. Now they're speaking against the chariots. They're speaking against the armies of Yahweh. By saying what? They're non-hostile. They crash. When the Bible says there's spirits and power of the vehicle, so that means, so if a chariot crashes, that means an angel crashed? No, man, that's not, those are blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. Verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell into the earth, into heaven. So there you see the whole name of, when they put the name of Jesus in the earth, Jehovah in the earth, Lord, that's blaspheming his name. When they spoke against the temple, we are the temple, and by saying that the fake people who are in Israel now, that they're going to build the third temple out of actual, rocks and stones and stuff, that's all blasphemous. And then that they're speaking about those who dwell in heaven, that goes into your angels and your chariots, and that's also talking about us. That they call us black, Latino, Native American, and they're calling the holy angels big-headed, bug-eyed, scary Martians. That's all encompassed in all of this right here. That's what they're doing, you guys. Isaiah 14:4. And so what is he doing? By doing all of this, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's what this race of people is doing. Every time they spread a lie about the Bible, Christianity, when they talk smack about the chariots, when they say they have the answer, they're going to be the salvation. If they get a hold of this technology, they'll be able to save the planet. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's what they're doing. Revelation 6:4. And then went another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And this is talking about Yahweh. This is talking about Salakia. It's talking about Esau again. How many times? And that he should kill one, that they should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword. There goes that sword again, that it was given to him. This is the same guy. How many times has America been at war since it's been a country? I walked into and I don't remember what the holiday was. It must have been a Memorial Day or something, but it was like 2 years ago. I walked into a Waffle House. There was about 30 to 40 Edomite men, white men, in this Waffle House. Old to young, every single one of them had a ball cap on or a t-shirt that identified the war that they had fought in. I wish I would have taken a picture, because I stood there and I looked. I sat down, I ate breakfast, and I looked, and I was reading the shirts. World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, Desert Storm. And I was like, damn. And I thought to myself, could you see Moabites, Chinese? Could you see any other race of people gathered in one little room where you got generations of men in that race of people, and all of them wearing t-shirts and ball caps, showing you a line of bloodshed of war that they've all been in, and posing themselves as the heroes? How the fuck are you a hero? How are you a good race of people when you've been in that many wars with everyone? And yet this incantation, this enchantment that somehow these men, these people are good, yet they are the most bloody race on the planet Earth. And they have the whole planet convinced that they're the good guy and everybody else is the bad guy. They're doing that same thing right now with the chariots. They're making themselves the good guy, saying the chariots are neutral in the background, that we've gotten technology off of them, and that some of their own are being bad, and they got to save the world from those people. See, there goes the boogeyman that Esau's going to save us from, and then when they get this technology, we'll all be happy. It's all BS, man. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Genesis 27, and Esau said this, and here we are. So I'll be right back. Hold on. And so this is the precept that says how Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua is going to respond to all this. This is Isaiah 66:15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Verse 16. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead. That means to judge with all flesh. And the slain of Yahweh shall be many. You go into 2 Ezra 13, and it describes exactly what Yahweh Shai is going to do. He's going to be on a chariot so big it's the size of a mountain. Everyone's going to freak out when they see him. That goes back into your Revelations when it says they will wail because of him. Okay? And then he's going to vaporize the armies of Esau. That's this whole war in heaven described right here in Ezra's 2nd Ezra chapter 13. This is one of the main reasons why they took this book out of the Bible and then told you their version. Blasphemies. They told you blasphemies, and this is the race that did it. They've done all of this stuff. It's not anybody else but them that's done this. Okay? The second book of Ezra, chapter 13, describes in detail. Let's read some of it. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream. By night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof, and I beheld, and lo, that man, that's talking about Yahweh, waxed strong with the thousands. Those are your chariots and the hosts of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, that's the sword, all they burned. That's your laser beam energy, energy coming out of the chariots. All they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. He's going to burn them up. It lines up with scripture. Oh, but the Apocrypha isn't the Bible. It's a lie. And then this is what that is. 2 Daniel 34. And thou sawest till a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them in pieces. And this is what the elites of Esau know. They understand that he's coming for them to do this. He's going to knock out all of the ruling, or the residue of past ruling Gentile empires that Esau is keeping going, by knocking down Esau and removing all that filth and those lies from the earth, and establishing his own rulership on the throne of David. Daniel chapter 2:35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken in pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floor, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, a ruling government. This is Yahweh Shai on the throne of David with the 144,000 chosen elect, and filled the whole earth. And what happened? And there was war in heaven. That's this war, which Michael and his angels fought, and against the dragon, and their angels fought, and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. This is what's going to happen, man. This is what the precepts say. This is what prophecy says. This is not what Esau is saying. This is not what that doctor is saying. This is not what the people are clapping for or believing in. They think their houses are going to continue forever. They believe they're going to be in power forever, living out these fantasies of creating and slaying boogeymen, and always being the hero of the movie. They create a monster that they have to kill every fucking year, man. And that's their form of righteousness. Okay? Yahweh isn't their form of righteousness. Yahweh Shai in his blood. You know, the new song, the correct doctrine is not their righteousness. They have to create a bad guy and then tell the world about the bad guy and then go get the bad guy. And that's how, by default, they look good. That's been Esau's righteousness this entire time since he's been in power, is his ability to accuse someone and then to impose some form of judgment on that person, and by default that makes him the good guy. That's his righteousness, you guys, and that's not righteousness. I hope this lesson was edifying. Well, before I say that, according to I believe it's Isaiah 19, there's a prophecy that says that there's going to be an altar erected and built in Egypt. It's talking about all our campsites and all of our YouTube channels when we're teaching this word, that these are altars, and that we will cry out to the Most High for the oppressor. And the oppressor is Amalek, the oppressor is Esau. And right now, I want to say a real quick prayer. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai, we cry out to you concerning the crimes and the transgressions and the abominations and the accusations and blasphemies of Esau Edom, accusing the chariots of breaking down or decaying, accusing the holy angels of death or breakdown when that cannot happen, saying that there's something else, putting an ugly image on the holy angels by saying that they're Martians, or that they're these big-headed, big-eyed, little-mouthed creatures, that they're in communication with these things. We lift up the sin that Esau is trying to say he is like you, by saying he can bring salvation to the earth through technologies, not speaking according to the prophecies and the laws, like your word says. We thank you for the knowledge and wisdom that you've given us. We thank you for the men that you've raised up, that feed us according to your heart, with knowledge and understanding, teaching us, helping us learn, as you help us learn the new song, the 100% correct doctrine according to your prophecies, your precepts. We thank you in the name of Yahweh Shai, we ask. Amen. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give double honors. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and I want to give double honors to the men of the great Millstone who I do learn from. Until we meet again, Shalom.